Hi, everyone. My name is Lynne McIntee, and we would like to welcome you to Youth Connections Cafe. Youth Connections Cafe is about connecting, creating, and inspiring the youth of today. We are fortunate to be on this platform, so thank you to Youth for Change Canada for allowing us to be here in this safe space where we can discuss, we connect, we create, and inspire with amazing guests. Follow us on social media if you can, give us a like. If you have an idea for programming, we would certainly love to hear from you. Maybe you'd like to attend a festival or volunteer in any capacity. Again, we'd love to hear from you. And we'd always look for feedback. So if you're enjoying the program, you enjoy the guests, we would love to connect you in the community because that's truly what we're all about. Thank you so much. We were talking about, let's try this, technology thriving in the modern world. That title really stands out to me, coming from the education field myself, and how important that is in the ever-changing field of technology. We have some amazing guests today. I was excited to invite them on here today. And I'll do a little intro for them, and then we can talk a little bit about their backgrounds and where they come from. We do have some questions, but we can be free flow as well too. So we'll see where this takes us. Welcome to everybody on the platform. Thank you for being here. And we also have a guest, Megan, who has been a guest speaker for us before. So thank you a lot, Megan, for joining us. All right, let's start out with Sam Wong. Sam Wong is the education manager and the camp director for the STEAM project. So our team here today is from the STEAM project. She has an amazing bio, but I'm going to let her introduce herself in just a moment. But for now, I'll introduce the other guests. So just a wave and a shout out to Sam Wong, who's here from the STEAM project. Thank you so much. All right, and I'm going to introduce Kara Yip, who is a co-op placement student in engineering. Thank you, Kara, from the University of Waterloo. All right, and she can tell you a little bit about herself also. Their bios are fantastic, and I think it's really important to hear it from the source as well. So the next person I'd like to introduce is Spencer Kloop. Hi, Spencer. And Spencer, it's great to see you and hiring manager and camp counselor for the STEAM project. Lots happening here today, and let's just go right into introduction. So I'll start out with Sam at this moment. And Sam, I wondered if you could tell us a little bit about yourself.
A little bit about myself. I'm our education manager at the STEAM project. I'm also our camp director. So that really means that during the year round, I help manage all of our programs that happen at the STEAM project related to woodworking, 3D printing, technology, also integrating technology and hands-on learning. And then during the summer, I manage one of our campsites where we focus on hands-on learning and using technology to build and teach STEAM and STEM concepts. So really set science, technology, engineering, arts, and math all together. But my background is in education and also in science. I'm also a teacher by trade, love teaching. I teach kindergarten all the way to grade 9. And really my favorite subject to teach has always been science. And I've been working with the STEAM project since 2017. I started as a camp counselor, was inspired by the things that we were doing, and then moved on to get my teaching degree as well as become one of our camp directors here and work full time with the STEAM project. So it's really exciting to be in the podcast with everyone. But I'll pass it off to Spencer maybe to introduce himself.
Amazing. Thank you so much. And Spencer.
Yeah, so I'm Spencer. Like Sam, I'm one of the camp directors here at the STEAM project. I'm also the hiring manager. So like Sam mentioned, in the summertime, very involved in kind of our camp program, overseeing the operations at a couple of our sites, working really tightly with our team to ensure that everybody's adequately trained and feeling comfortable in their role and willing to support not only the campers, but the staff with their overall involvement within our program. When it comes to the hiring, I work very closely with different co-op offices, like where Kira comes from, and many of our other students we've had with us in the past. But just with different staff that have an interest in kind of joining our team and getting an opportunity, looking for ways to growth and contribute to the community and our program as a whole. So with that, I get to meet a great deal of different people from a whole bunch of different backgrounds, walks of life, and really get to meet them from the time they come in our door to meet us for the first time, and then those that are able to join us for a term or for a summer, working closely with them to not only get them trained, but get them learning different things and providing them with a new experience within our team and what we have to offer.
Wow. And Spencer, how did you come to the table in terms of the same?
Yeah, so I have a background. I worked for municipal recreation for almost 10 years. So starting off as a camp counselor, working my way up to camp supervisor, and holding a director title with different municipalities. So really just fell in love with my kind of the aspect of working with kids and programming and just recreational and community involvement as a whole. I have a kinesiology and health science background, so a little bit different than kind of the coding and robotics, but still have a great love for um, like kind of the science of the body and biology and chemistry. So the opportunity of working here, blending my love of science as well as recreation and community involvement has been kind of how I've ended up here and why I'm here with you guys today.
Wow, super cool for us. Thank you both, Sam and Spencer, at this time. And as if anybody listening and tuning in, you never know where your path will take you. You can again can start in one field, and you can do a whole paradigm shift, and away you go. And you just never know who you meet in the process. So that's why we're here today, connecting, creating, and inspiring. And I'm feeling that inspiration already. All right, Kira, that's a little bit about yourself, or a lot about yourself, whatever you would like to contribute. Yeah.
Yeah, hi. So my name is Kira Yip, and I'm a student at University of Waterloo. I'm currently studying systems design engineering there. I'm in my second year. But in terms of what I do here at the STEAM project, I work as a educational mechanical toy designer. And then I also do some instructing on the side. So I'm working hands-on with the kiddos as well as, of course, designing the projects that they're working on. I work with a really broad sort of age range with the kids. So, working with all the way from 4-year-olds up to, I guess you'd be, I want to say, like 16-year-olds, getting into the high school range, that sort of thing, depending on what it is. We got some high school workshops running through the place. But yeah, no, I think the thing I love most about working here so far is that um, just the chance to work hands-on with a lot of stuff. I actually did a co-op term here during the winter at the beginning of the year from January to April. And then I chose to come back after doing another academic term, just because what I find is so unique about this place is that the co-op students are actually given real opportunities to be like really, really working with the products, working through every step of it. And so, yeah, I'm really glad to be working in a place where I feel like I'm actually getting active experience, and I've always loved 3D modeling, any kind of fabrication where it comes to, using different CAD programs and that kind of thing. And yeah, this is a place I really find I can work on my skills.
Wow, this is so great. Thank you for opening up the conversation to all three of you. And Megan, if we could do a quick introduction for yourself and what brought you to the table and your interest in this discussion today.
Yeah, I'm Megan Dendecker. I have a pathway of working with kids with disabilities, and for the past 4 years, I've been a camp counselor at a camp working with kids with disabilities. And I came here because I really like what you guys do, and I wanted to find ways to integrate it with the kids I work with.
Amazing. And thank you for those listening and tuning in. We really appreciate it. Thank you to the STEAM Project for allowing you to be here on this platform today. Amazing guests, as you can see and as you can hear. So I'll go right into the next question that I was posing. What does the term technology thriving in the modern world mean to you as individuals? Who would like to take that one first?
I'll
Spencer?
speak on that one. So, kind of just when I think about that phrase of technology thriving in the modern world, I think about how technology obviously has come a long way over the last few decades and especially in recent years, and it's such a great tool. So, I find that technology like that saying to me really just means using technology confidently in the modern day to help people solve problems, overall increase their efficiency, and also treat it as an opportunity for growth and keeping that kind of growth mindset in mind to find new opportunities and find new interests. And technology, I'm finding that a lot of the times when we expose it to some of the campers that come through our doors, anybody that's involved with us, they're finding new ways to implement it in their everyday lives or new ways that they can kind of take something away from it. So I think just with the growth of that, it has so many different avenues it can take you down, specifically when it comes to embedding it in your life to become more efficient or just help with everyday problems.
No, thank you very much for sharing that as an individual from your perspective. Who would like to piggyback on that? Kira, Sam?
Yeah, I can talk a little bit about that. I
Yeah.
guess, yeah, again, sort of piggybacking on what Spencer says, I think that when people say technology thriving in the modern world, um, they sort of forget the human aspect of it, or forget how important it is to consider the way that we as people and humans living in the modern world are interacting with this technology. It's not technology evolving on its own and, this sort of independent entity. It's how we are interacting with it, how we're using it and integrating it into our lives, and learning how to sort of, you know, technology's place and our place, and how we can work together to achieve a greater goal. It's not, I think, for example, we'll talk about AI a little bit. It's not letting AI run everything and that sort of thing. It's knowing where that we can use it to help us both, or well, where we can use it to help us the most, and where humans should be taking a step in, and where technology can run it a bit more.
Yeah, thank you very much for mentioning that, where humans take a step in.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you, because that's coming up quite a bit in conversation in our circles. So thank you a lot. And then to piggyback on Spencer and Kira, what quite a piggyback ride there. So Sam, what would you like to say regarding that?
Yeah, I really think that they hit a lot of great points. I think for me, when it comes to technology and involving technology and teaching technology to children or to youth, I really find that our goal at the STEAM project and our goal as instructors is just making sure that the kids understand technology and they learn kind of the basics, but also involving the problem solving, like Spencer mentioned, having opportunities where the children are able to explore and then solve different things. So we love to build in things that we call the design challenges, where we kind of teach the kids the basic concepts of technology, coding, or robotics, and then they're given a challenge, and there's a lot of different ways that they go about it. And really, I think that kind of encapsulates thriving in the modern world, which is problem solving with technology, being able to understand it, but then also try to fix problems by yourself or with the help of others. And that's kind of one of our kind of core philosophies when it comes to technology, being able to build in opportunities for the kids to learn with it, and also to develop and create with either technology, whether it's 3D printing, laser cutting, coding, and robotics, the things that we do.
Sam, stick with that point, actually, if you don't mind, please and thanks. I know the next one may seem kind of like a base question because you've all kind of touched on this already. How does technology help express creativity for youth across the spectrum, whether it be a very young early learner, or later on up to 29-ish, so to speak. Sam, did you want to take that one and carry on? Okay.
Yeah, I think so. So in our name, the STEAM project, we have the A in it, the arts. So it's science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. So really what I love about it is sometimes people call it STEM, but we call it STEAM because there is a lot of creativity when it comes to learning about STEAM topics and using technology. There's a lot of opportunities for children to grow and also be creative. So whether that's with the Lego kits that you might see behind Spencer, building and creating and making their own things and tinkering, or tinkering with technology, whether it be on the laptops or iPads when it comes to us developing programs where they're 3D modeling, whether it be a toy or a cool figure that they like, and then us printing it or learning the processes of printing it. So there are a lot of opportunities to take the technology or the tools and then be creative, both in our courses and our programs, and even for our instructors who are designing toys for the kids like Kira is.
Yeah, very cool. Thank you, Sam. Appreciate that. And Spencer, I'll hop over to you and we'll keep on this question, and then we'll just deviate from there after that. So,
Yeah, so no, I echo a lot of what Sam said. I find that nowadays too, just in kind of the world we live in, it's definitely a lot more of a digital age than it used to be. And technology can be great for self-expression and kind of putting them way out in different ways, whether it's through social media or video design or even like graphic design to a point as well. Technology is giving people so many new avenues to kind of find ways to say things that they may not be able to kind of portray in different ways, or kind of have an outlet to promote their own creativity, whatever that may be, or whatever medium they want to show it through. So, like Sam said, exactly, with the 3D modeling and the printing and the Lego kits behind me, they're great kind of physical ways. But with everything being so online now, there's so many different tools and softwares that are so artistically based that people are now able to really take hold of that and explore brand new ways to kind of show their creative freedom and maybe share their voice in ways they otherwise wouldn't.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, thank you, Spencer. Appreciate that. And Kira, we'll just
Mhm.
have you jump in for your thoughts on that, and we'll move on to another part of the conversation. So as far as in the creative
Yeah,
aspect of things,
I think when we talk about sort of technology, Ooh, sorry, I think I cut you off a bit there. Would you mind repeating that?
oh, that's okay. No, you go for it. So the creative aspect of things, if you could share your thoughts on that. Thank you.
Hmm. Yeah, of course. I think that sort of the important thing to keep in mind about how technology assists creativity is the fact that creativity isn't just a matter of visual art, you know? I mean, personally, I don't consider myself the most artistic person out there, not the best at drawing, painting, not really, but I do still consider myself creative, a creative person on the whole, because, there's not just how well can you produce art, but there's also creative problem solving, thinking out of the box. And technology is really just sort of a super important tool that can help you bring all the ideas that you have in your head to life. It's also, I see a problem in my life, or this issue is annoying me and it's frustrating me. So, how can I solve it? It's not just, darn it, guess that's just the way it's going to be. I can actually start thinking about this and say, oh, I can fix this problem. Just give me a minute to think about it and I can come up with a solution and start making my own daily life better.
Thank you for that, Kara and Spencer and Sam. And so when we think about our youth moving forward in the future, and those problem-solving skills are so important. Creativity comes in many aspects, as you had said, and as you're all saying here. How does it help youth to problem solve and find that inner creativity and know that it's okay to fumble along the way? Um, and that that's part of the learning process. How can that validate their thoughts of insecurity there? Who would like to take that one first? Yeah.
I can talk a little bit about that. I mean, I've been sort of studying in the engineering range for a few years now. And of course, whenever you start something, there's always going to be tons of mistakes. You don't start off an expert. That's the whole concept of it. So I think that, in particular, sort of rapid prototyping technologies, like the ones that we work with here, whether it's 3D printers, laser cutting, that kind of thing, are really helpful for realizing that the first thing you create is not the final version. And that's something that people or my teachers have been pushing on me all throughout the years as I've been sort of working my way up, studying through engineering, that the design process is iterative. You can do a first prototype, test it out, see how it works, what's the problems, what don't I like, what do I want to change, what do I want to keep, and then you go back and you do another prototype and you do another prototype over and over again until you have a product that you like. And you know what, even if a few years down the road you decide that, I think I could do better now with this new skills that you've taken on, I think that's something very important to do as well. I currently am actually looking at an old high school project of mine that I think I did, like 3 or 4 years ago now. And I'm thinking, oh, I could do so much better now. I know that I could scale this down. I could make this mechanism more efficient. All these little sort of barely functioning pieces that I just about managed to make work. I know sort of methods to make it work so much better now. And so I think it's important just to keep in mind that you're always going to be changing, you're always going to be learning. And sort of that's the whole concept of problem solving and engineering and really all of STEAM. So yeah, just don't worry if your first one doesn't work out.
Can you hear that, everyone? So you never know. Just keep on trying. And the prototype, what you have in the first place may not be the end result. So, which is a good thing, right? It's evolving and growing and stepping
Yeah.
outside the box, right? Very cool. And who would like to take that thought and then carry on with it? And we'll go through Sam or Spencer.
Yeah, I can go next. Something else that we love to talk about in the office is called our maker mindset. So going off of what Kira said, it's about the iterative process and our maker mindset. So one of them is focusing on perseverance, and whether it be different activities, we really try to help kids develop that perseverance when it comes to things not going the way that they plan, or using tools and then realizing the first first time is quite hard, whether it be holding the hammer for the first time or going on the computer and doing some block coding for the first time, that it doesn't always go as planned. And sometimes it takes a couple of steps to get it the way that you wanted, and to be okay to say, oh, I really want to change this. And like Kira said, realizing that that's not the final product and we can always go back and fix it. There are always things that we will want to change, but that's kind of the growth of the process, and really focusing on the growth mindset that Spencer always talks about. So having opportunities for growth, and the way that we talk to the kids, whether it be in our line of questioning or the way that we plan our programs too, we really try to involve the kids in that, either persevering after the first time that it's hard, or having opportunities for them to come back to a project later on, whether it be a couple weeks later or even a month later, and seeing something and then coming back to fix it, or even just evolve it, really not fix it, but evolve their project into something completely different, or change things that are going to make it more efficient or make them work a little bit better. But I wonder what Spencer's thinking about this too.
I can, thank you,
Yeah,
He's
Spencer.
no.
nodding his head.
Yeah, a lot of what I was thinking you guys said, which is great to see that we're all in agreement on that and all on the same page. When I think about kind of how like perseverance and everything like that, a big kind of trait with me that I always like to promote is the trait of mastery, and kind of working towards kind of achieving different things, whether that be through relationships you develop with other people in the program, or the staff that are working directly with you, or if it's just general participation in the program. One thing that I've always kind of instilled in my teams that I've managed, as well as the campers that I work with in the past as well as current day, is just always try. Even if you don't maybe want to try it, or you don't think you're going to like it, at least give it a shot, because you never know at the end of the day what you're going to walk away from. There might be components that you didn't know about it that you ended up enjoying, and even that little part that you did enjoy will allow you to kind of come back and try it again, and want to continue to work towards that skill. And something else we really promote throughout specifically our summer camps is the trait of positivity and resilience. And it's stuff that we really work with our staff to instill upon the campers as well, because those are two key things really in any type of field you work in. But really important traits to develop from a young age, because they're two mindsets that are pretty important to have as you carry them with you throughout your life, is to kind of be resilient, push through even when times get tough, because the effort will end up paying off for you, even if it just finishes off the task. And then just that positive mindset, even trying through. They're great things to really promote, and stuff that we really are proud that our staff work to instill upon our campers. And by the end of their session and their time with us, we definitely see that they are trying new things, and maybe things they were a little bit hesitant about on the first day. So I think kind of technology is a great avenue to pursue that, because it can be very complex but very easy at the same time, and it's a great way for kids to kind of get their feet wet with that type of a thing.
Wow, I feel your energy, and I feel that celebratory aspect, and the levels that each and every one of you are taking, but also the groups that you're working with as well, and how important that is to celebrate those moments, because it is stepping stones to the end result that you would like, I guess. But resilience is key. Megan, any questions at this point?
Not at this point. They are answering all the questions the way that I would like.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, thank you. And I'm just, what a great energy you all have. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm going to move forward a little bit, and then we can maybe look at some of the slides and other things that we can highlight about the STEAM project. But love your energy as a collective team. Thank you so much. And to our youth that are listening and tuning in, you just never know where life takes you. Look at this great team of colleagues. And, you just, yeah, you never know. You might be applying to the STEAM project, and maybe we can talk about that a little bit later, and what's required for applying for a position there. Okay, so does the use of technology help youth develop the skills? Yes, we know that already. If someone wants to get into the field that you're working in, what are some key factors? You've mentioned some of them, but I wonder if we could talk to you as individuals about that. And who would like to take it first? Hiring manager or
Yeah,
Nick?
I can take that one. I can take that one first. Um,
Okay.
I think, honestly, I think one of the great things specifically about the kind of just like the overall field of what we do in terms of like our camps and our programs, it's very open, and anybody from any kind of a walk of life can come through, whether it's somebody that is in engineering, like how we found Kira and has that hands-on technical ability, or if it's someone that is just super passionate about working with kids. Maybe they want to be a teacher one day, or they just have an interest in camp or just science as a whole. Again, depending on the role, it can kind of open the door to a number of different people to kind of be a candidate for it and somebody that we're going to look at. But then again, like as we go down the line, like every skill set is valuable in different ways, obviously, and we have a lot going on here. Whether it's in our direct summer camp, we have a number of different positions that we hire for, which kind of allow for people from different backgrounds, whether it is education or maybe it's more healthcare related things that you're going to be involved with health and wellness, or maybe you're a high school student that it's your first job opportunity. And camp is a great way to kind of have a first job. I've always had the mindset of I think everybody should do at least one summer of camp because the skills you walk away from it with far exceed anything else I've ever really experienced, even when it comes down to the soft skills of communication, problem solving, critical thinking, the list goes on. And so I think just kind of looking at that as an opportunity is great too. Or then, like I mentioned before, we have the students that join us, like Kira and any other of our co-ops that are with us in the year round, as well as our summer operation. And they bring a whole bunch of skills to the table that help us actually be able to create and innovate and run our programs by bringing in ideas, designing, manufacturing. So the great thing and the kind of long answer to the question is all kind of walks of life are able to fit in here. Just kind of depends on what you're looking to get out of it at the end of the day.
Mhm. And Spencer, we love the long answer to the question, so thank you.
Okay, good. No worries.
And as we like to say, do you, and that's, that's
Yeah.
what works best, right? Yeah, so thank you
Okay.
so much. Appreciate that. And I noticed, Megan, you had said it's never just one summer. Is that right? Coming from
Yeah,
that
that's
experience.
also very true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, very much so. You become family after that, right? Yeah, yeah, that's amazing. Thank you so much, Spencer. Appreciate that. Sam, I wondered if you were able to take the same question.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like Spencer covered most of the hiring parts of it. I think part of our team, what I love about our team specifically, is that we all come from different backgrounds. So Spencer's coming from a recreation and sports background. He helps manage our STEAM camps, but also our sports adventure and outdoor education program. Kira is has an engineering background. We have a team of different people who are either in engineering or right now they're designing projects. So they're in engineering or they come from more of a design or electronics background. But then we have a full team who helps run our camp program that have different backgrounds in marketing and business, in UX design and designing our website at the moment. So all different kind of walks of life experiences coming to our team to make it all happen. Because there's a lot of things that come into making summer camp and also educational programs happen. So we have people who are doing creative things like photography and videography and capturing the moments of camp. We have right now, we have a UX designer working with us to develop our website page. So that's something that we've been working on, whether it be content writing, describing our programs in words, not just making the physical product. So that's also the technology that we're doing I guess on the side of just running our program. So really, I think that there are a lot of people of different walks of life. And really my tip or kind of thing that I would like to kind of tell the youth is that really it's about the passion that you have for something. So really it comes through in the interviews and when you talk about what you've done. I think talking about your interest, whether it be starting as a camp counselor or just talking about why you'd like to join either like the STEAM project or any company that you're interviewing for. I think that's a lot of what we're looking for too, whether it be in applications, in the hiring process, and speaking to your experience and how it can kind of be integrated to whether it be from engineering or technology or education and those kind of things.
Thank you. Thank you both. Kira.
Yeah, I think sort of the most important thing I would say, sort of coming into a new environment, really this is true for probably most work fields out there, but especially in engineering or even when you're working with kids because they're so unpredictable. Just adaptability is a really big thing. Not, again, we sort of talked a bit on this before, not being afraid to make mistakes. Things happen. That's okay. That's just a part of life. That doesn't mean you did something wrong. It's just things, things happen. And yeah, I think that it's just important to be adaptable, be willing to learn new things and not get discouraged when, at the first sign of something going wrong. And just, yeah, you can get wherever you want to go if you're just willing to learn.
Yeah, very good. I'm inspired by listening to all of you. And again, we carry a toolkit around in life, and you never know what tool you're going to need on per day, what time of the day, and just sharpen those tools at different times. So yeah, know that it's ever changing, and that's okay, right? Cool. I wondered then, it's sort of speaking to the hiring process, and then maybe after that we could do a presentation on the STEAM project. But I wondered, Spencer, if you wanted to kind of carry on with this. Imagine it's a high school student who's maybe they just really have no idea what they want to get into yet. They sort of do. Maybe there's grade 9, grade 10. Could they come in and could they apply for a job?
Yeah, absolutely. So we start hiring for staff starting in grade 10. So you would have had to just finish your grade 10 year going into grade 11. Um, Also volunteering, that's when we start there. So there's definitely opportunities to get involved, whether it's in a volunteer capacity or even a staff capacity. If you've just finished your grade 10 year, you could come in as what we call a junior counselor, which is for our summer camp program, and you'd be in a room with a group of kids and kind of get that full experience. There's definitely opportunities there for kids of that age to be involved in our program.
Amazing. Yeah, so they could apply. Do they need to
Yep.
have tons of what would they need? A resume? They need to be confident in the interview, but
Yeah.
it, yeah, share their passion, as Sam had mentioned.
Exactly, yeah. So we take our applications online. That's the easiest way to kind of find us is if you go onto our website and you're able to apply directly to there. We also have postings around on different job boards such as like Indeed, and
Yeah.
that's another way that they're able to kind of find us, which would take us to the website. Or take them to the website and they'd be able to fill out the application. But in terms of the applications, it's a little bit of background information as to like just a little bit about them. But we
Mhm.
do ask for a resume and a cover letter, and we ask them the cover letter. They really express what it is that makes them want to work with kids and everything, and what they're kind of passionate about. Because at the end of the day, for roles involved in camp, we want to know that they're there for the right reasons, and they're not only interested in like the technology aspect of everything, but really the passion of working with kids and kind of providing the opportunity for the kids to be exposed to so many different avenues of STEAM and technology and just everything that we do offer on a daily basis there.
Very nice. Thank you so much. And Sam or Kara, did you want to add anything to
Yeah,
that?
I was going to jump in that for our grade 10 students and for high school students, another opportunity. And I think Kira can talk a little bit about her experiences, but is also a high school co-op opportunity. So those work placements as well. Currently, I think we have 3 high school co-op students with us. We have one doing more marketing related. So she's doing some social media. She's also making like stop motion videos with our projects, those kind of things. So she's doing that. And then we have 2 that are more doing instructional based co-ops with us. So they're helping us prepare lesson materials. They're also helping and volunteering with our programs. So one is currently coaching and helping coach our robotics team. We have one that's doing more of an electronics focused high school co-op. So he's learning with one of our electronics specialists to prepare different things, whether it be soldering motors together, prepping materials, those kind of things. So there's also opportunities in high school to do high school co-op credits that are related to work experiences, whether they be with an organization like us or through different things like working in the hospitals or working at pharmacy, those kind of things where you can get work experience as you're developing in high school and also earning credits for graduation as well. I
That's
think Kira did do a high school co-op placement when she was in high school. So that's why I was referring to Kira for that.
okay, Kara, spill the tea.
Oh goodness, yeah. No, I did do a high school co-op as well. I think actually it's sort of I've always had in my mind that I've wanted to do co-op not only in high school but sort of also going into university because I think that, of course, academics, great. It's always you want to be learning new things. It's always important to know your stuff and, the book side of things, but it can only get you so far. So you're going to need that sort of real world experience, working with other people, sort of seeing how people adapt, work adapts, all that sort of thing. When I was back in high school, I actually did my co-op with the city of Richmond Hill. So yeah, I worked in the sort of operations center, the water department. And yeah, it was actually kind of interesting because I got quite a wide range of experiences there. My manager was the supervisor of the department, so I got to sort of shadow him, see what it's like to be managing a group of like technicians, for example, who are working hands-on with the different, sewage systems, water pumps throughout the city. So I did a lot of visiting sites, and then also being able to engage with the technicians and seeing what their day-to-day life was. I think one of my favorite things to watch actually when I was there was probably when they would go around doing the water testing. They bring their big truck with all of their different testing equipment around, and you can see them perform the different tests for all the things they need to check for. And I thought it was interesting because I actually didn't really know that they did that before. Like, I knew that the water had to be tested, of course, but I didn't know anything about the process. I think before that, the most I knew was just some person goes around and magically the water is tested. But there's a team of people who do it. There's all this supply, all this preparation that goes into it. And again, just getting sort of a peek into that world and seeing what it's like to have these real world experiences. Not only, let's say, in the office or what that looks like, but also look at different types of work you could be going in. Sure, my supervisor stayed in the office most of the time, but there's also the technicians who are going off to the sites, off to different fields. And then my supervisor might go visit them, that sort of thing. There's a lot of different styles of work and different sort of lifestyles that you can have. And I think it's important to know that going into eventually your career once you graduate.
Kira, thank you for saying that because you just, again, you may do a paradigm shift. And I was actually going to ask Spencer and or any of you actually, have you ever found that someone's come into the environment and not wanted to be there? And then they've realized, oh my goodness, this is totally where I want to be. Do you have an experience like that?
Yeah, I mean, like everybody's experience is a little bit different. I think a lot of it kind of falls onto the expectation people have when they come into it too, and that's maybe what they're misunderstanding or anything like that. So something even kind of going back to the hiring process, something that we like to do even in the interview, as well as just job descriptions that we post is try to lay everything out for them to know what they're getting into, so then they know like, is this something they want to apply to? And I like to treat the interviews definitely a lot more. It's still an interview, but I personally like to treat them a lot like a conversation. I'm getting to know them, they're getting to know me and a little bit about the company and exactly what the summer is trying to look like for them. And I've had a lot of times where like you see it kind of in the early weeks, especially with some of the younger staff, because like camp is a big job and programs is a big job too. And as I mentioned before, a lot of skills that you can kind of take away from it. But kind of I view that as I'm sure a lot of other people do, as an opportunity to work with them and try to find a way for them to get the most out of it. Maybe shine a different kind of a light on a situation and kind of paint a different picture for them. And through that, they're definitely able to kind of see everything and really take a new approach to things to try to benefit it the best way for them because everybody's going to approach every situation differently. So yeah, there's been times when maybe people have a little bit of a different understanding coming into it and then kind of working with them to better understand the situation and find an adaptive approach to potentially take in that moment. It has been a great way to kind of and have people make the most of the situation.
I love how you framed that, Spencer, in a positive way. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate that. That's totally a hiring manager for sure, all the way. So hats off to you for framing it in that positive light. All right, Megan, any questions at this point?
No.
Doing great. Okay.
Yeah.
Would you like to show a presentation on the STEAM project then and give us a sense of what's happening? Thank you. You guys are amazing. Yeah.
Sam, you have the video, right? Oh, you got Tesla there with you.
Oh, neat. Mascot?
Our company
Yeah,
dog,
she's
yes.
currently sitting with me. I'm gonna let her out of the room so that if we play any audio, she's not.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. That is definitely keeping it real for sure.
There we go. Yeah, I can definitely share it. I have two videos to share. One is of our summer camp program. It doesn't have audio. And the second one is we have a video about our co-op students and some of the youth that are working with us. So I think that would be really good to see some technology that they're doing and to have other kind of voices talk about working and their work experience. So I will try to share my screen here. Let's see if it will.
And while Sam's loading the screen, a reminder you're here for Youth Connections Cafe, and shout out to the STEAM project for being here today. We have a collective that is sharing their skills, their knowledge, and their life experiences with us. So thank you so much. And shout out to Youth for Change for allowing us to be here. All right.
Oh, there we go.
Cool.
So we have a video about different programs that we're doing and a little bit about our summer camp. Mhm. There we go. Yeah, so we use a wide range of tools and technology with the kids, and our summer camp also is focused on your traditional summer camp. So summer camp fun, making friends, learning a lot from other people as well. And I think I am going to stop sharing, and I'm going to open another tab here to play it's a 2.5 minute video related to co-op students at the STEAM project with us. Let's see if I can get that open. And I might need someone to tell me if the audio is working.
Sure.
All good?
Anyone hearing anything?
My name's Jake.
My name is Juno.
My name is Miranda.
My name's Matt.
Here at the STEAM project, I'm doing toy designing.
Project designer and instructor. The toy designer.
Creative design team.
I wanted to get into a more hands-on and building-focused part of my career and develop those skills more. And the STEAM project seemed like a fantastic opportunity to do those outside of a typical kind of corporate environment.
I'm a big fan of design. That's my favorite thing to do. So the STEAM project gave me a lot of freedom to do different projects that I was interested in.
In grade 9, I was part of the STEAM project pilot program, and we did a lot of fun things with 3D printers and laser cutters, and I thought it would be super cool if I could join this company and help share what was taught to me in grade 9 to all the other students and kids at this program.
I've been doing outreach since I was in high school through robotics clubs, teaching people how to code and different things like that. And it's just a really rewarding experience to be able to inspire the next generation of STEMists.
Typical day at the STEAM project will usually include a little bit of teaching and a bit of toy design and helping out around the workshop. So it's a whole lot of things, and it keeps every day interesting.
Most of my days I spend developing projects, developing course outlines.
Deciding what in the Ontario curriculum we want to focus on, creating lesson plans around that and how we're going to teach it.
Teaching those courses and then implementing that feedback back into the projects to improve them.
I get to go into the classrooms and actually teach the lessons and see all of my hard work pay off when the students are having fun and they're getting to put together the projects.
I'm looking forward to making things. I'm looking forward to developing new skills to push forward different projects here.
Looking forward to a lot of working with more of the electronic courses and a lot of the electrical things that happen there.
So being able to inspire kids who are interested in robotics would be really fun for me, especially because when you're a kid, it's hard to find the tools that you need to get started. That's often the hardest part. So yeah, being able to help kids build that foundation and learn about building and also coding would be the most exciting course for me to teach.
Wow, what a great video. Who made the video? Just curious.
So kind of the roles that Sam was talking about previously, how we have people involved in photography and videography. We've had a bunch of people join us kind of over the last few years. So it's been it's an old videographer of ours that was working with us that was able to put that together and shoot all the footage, interview the staff, and it's just another component to kind of how we try to wrap up a season, is talking to all of our co-ops and some of our staff that joined us for a period of time.
Amazing. It's well done. Kudos, kudos to the collective, but kudos to the person who did the editing on that as well. It's really well done. Thank you so much for sharing that. And Megan, any questions at this point after seeing that presentation?
No.
I want to make sure that you just go for it anytime then.
Yeah.
That's incredible. I'm just floored by the presentation itself, but I wondered then if you could speak to the mentorship aspect of that, because I see a lot going on there, obviously, and I know our viewers and listeners would as well too. How rewarding is the mentorship for you as individuals? Who would like to take it?
I can start with this one again too. So for me, kind of in my role as a director, I view a large part of my role is kind of being that mentor or that coach, not only to the campers that are with us or the students that are with us, but to a lot of the staff too. I think back on a lot of my times, kind of starting out in camps and starting out in programs, and the kind of mentors or leaders that I had that I was able to report into, and I can think of and hundreds of different situations where kind of without them, I would have kind of been a little bit lost and not sure of what to do. So kind of that mentorship and that teaching ability or that coaching, it's a great learning opportunity to kind of instill those traits that we were talking about before, that like perseverance, the resilience, the initiative, all of that with the guidance and everything. I think it helps to really set people down a big path. So I take a lot of ownership into kind of mentoring my staff, and something that I really enjoy and look forward to throughout the years is kind of working with my teams and kind of helping them learn something from it. And that's why I mentioned in the interview process too, we talk about what they want to get out of it at the end of the day. And then whether it is something that's more technical or hands-on, or if maybe it is that they want to work on their public speaking and communication, like it's a great way to kind of take that mentorship role and kind of find the opportunities to push them down that path for them to really kind of view this as a rewarding experience. Same as with our kids, they're going to be interested in a variety of different things, whether that is art or maybe it's building Legos or maybe it's robotics, and kind of helping them with the exposure to those topics as well as 100 others. It's a great way to kind of teach and kind of instill those traits back into the kids.
Thank you, Spencer. Kira or Sam, who would like to take it first?
Yeah, I can talk a bit about it. I guess for me, I'm both in the position of the mentor and the mentee, depending on who you talk to. But yeah, in terms of working with the kids, I think that my favorite part about it is just sort of, setting these kids up with the tools that they need to really just do what they want to do. Sure, they're young and they're kids, especially working with like the age group that we call our mini makers, which is like you're going to be ages 4 to 6, just JKSK. But yeah, sure, they're young, but they've got so many ideas and they're still so creative. And so, being able to talk to them and communicate with them and help them get done what they want to create is so interesting. I think actually I see a lot of it I used to teach Lego robotics classes. And, these kids, they're going into it because most likely they love Lego. And so they've already got stuff going on back there. The gears are already turning. We just have to, help them bring what they need to life. Um, you know, they can sort of they get the opportunity to create what they want. We have a base project that they start with, and then at the end, if they have extra time, they're able to sort of start doing extension activities, start adding on what they like. And so I think it's also a super great opportunity. When we have a class, not all students are going to be the exact same level, because again, it's split between multiple years. Let's say in your first grade class, you've got this kid who's freshly out of kindergarten, but then you've also have another kid who's so used to the space. Maybe they've taken multiple classes here, And so because of sort of the ratio of instructors to students, we're really able to support each individual and make sure that they're getting their needs fulfilled. They're all able to push their own boundaries and goals and skills.
Thank
And
you.
then
Thank you.
and I guess just a little bit to talk about what it's like being mentored here as well. I think I'll talk most about sort of the engineering perspective, but again, I mentioned before that it's incredibly hands-on here, the experience that you get. I'm actually able to create a design, and as soon as I finish it, I just get up from my desk, walk over to the next room, and all of a sudden, poof, it's a physical object, like I can be designing these 2D digital laser cut templates, and then all of a sudden I'm holding it in my hands. And I really appreciate that when I'm here, because of the setup we have with the production team and all our designers. It's very open and it's very easy to get feedback on anything you're working on. There's no sense of, oh, I'm stuck on this problem and I don't know what to do, so I'm just stewing in it. It's okay, I've tried my best to solve this issue, but I think that in order to keep moving forward, I might need a little bit of help. Might need a little bit of a push. So it's super easy to talk to my coworkers or talk to my supervisor, really just anyone to give me a second opinion and help me keep moving forward. I think that that's something really unique about working here. I've sort of being at Waterloo, we all do tons of co-op programs, that kind of thing. And a lot of things I hear from my classmates was, oh, I did the one activity they assigned me or the one project task they assigned me, and then my boss disappeared and I did not see him again for another 5 hours and I didn't know what to do. You know, here you're always working on something new. You're always progressing. You're never just stuck in the same place. And I think that that's something really, really valuable. Actually having a mentor that you can talk to, they're not just some mythical creature in the background that exists, but is kind of hard to interact with. You really can be getting advice and help where you need it.
Yeah, for sure. We all need a cheering section, eh?
Of course.
Thank you. Thank you, Kara. And then finally, how is your time? I just want to make sure I'm honoring your time. Do you have time for a couple more questions after this, or would you need to do a hard stop?
We should be good for a few
Okay.
minutes.
Yeah, we still
Yeah.
have
A few minutes? Okay,
Mhm.
so would you be okay to answer this one, Spencer? I think it was, yeah, or yeah, Sam.
This one I answered
Yeah.
already. I went first, so I think
Sam?
Sam.
Sam,
Yeah.
sorry, pardon me. And then I can wrap up with the last question, but I just want to make sure that we're getting an opportunity to hear all of you. So the
I think
mentorship aspect?
we're all good on time. Yeah.
Okay.
In terms of mentorship and at the STEAM project, I wanted to piggyback on Kira and Spencer's. For both our staff and for our campers or our students with us, I think that no one person is the same. So no one person learns the same or has the same motivation. So I think really as a mentor, whether it be in camp directing and directing a team of staff or teaching a group of kids, so a program, it's really, really nice for me to get to know them as people and kind of figure out what their motivations are, what they like, what their interests are, because I think the best way for people to be involved or to feel like they have a sense of passion or want to come back to work or come back to our classes is feeling like they're valued and also that we're listening to their interests, whether it be in a project where we explore 3D printing, but we do it in a way that is really interesting for the kids and their interests, whether it be in Lego where kids love cars and we want to build cars and we want to teach those concepts, but spin it in a way that they don't know that they're learning and that we're really thinking about their interests, whether it be about wheels or F1 cars, those kind of things. And with their staff as well, in mentorship is learning about what they hope to get out of the summer or work experience with us and really having those check-ins and conversations, whether they be at the coffee machine during the day or a more formal check-in to see how they're doing, but also learn about their experience and also try to tailor that experience and the learning that happens here in the workplace. So whether it is that they're really trying to develop the soft skills because they might not be using these technology skills for their next career, but it might be the soft skills, whether it's talking to parents, leading a large group of kids in a classroom and really being comfortable with their soft skills in communication or in leadership. It's really figuring out what exactly our staff are looking for that summer camp experience and then trying to tailor those experiences to our staff as well so that they can feel like they had a rewarding summer or a rewarding co-op experience with us. So I think it's learning about the people, learning about the kids, and then trying to find ways for them to also find that interest in the program or in a work placement.
Wow, you guys rock. Honestly, I'm just so enthralled by listening to you, but also I hope the others are as well too. Then why the STEAM project? Why would someone choose the STEAM project? Who would like to take it? You can all take it or, either or. So who wants to try that one? Why choose the STEAM project? Sounds like you've answered it, but maybe we can put a line or two in there.
Yeah, I can sort of start talking about that again. Like I mentioned before, this is actually my second co-op term here. So of course, should be obvious that I love it here. I chose to come back. I think really what makes the STEAM project special, and I've talked about this earlier in the interview, but just the hands-on experience that you get. And I think this is one of the very few places where you'll actually get to see through every single step of the design process. You know, not only you go from, okay, let's brainstorm some ideas for, let's say, this theme PA day or this theme camp we're doing, all the way to, okay, I have this idea, how do I make it come true? Going to prototyping, getting a final design, doing lesson planning, and then actually getting to, you know, run it with the kids and see how they interact with it on an individual basis and what it's like to work with it in the real world. You know, you're not just making something, throwing it out there, and then never seeing what happens to it. You actually are getting live feedback on your work, not only from your supervisors, but actually from your audience, from the users who are using your product. And then from there, you get to sort of use that feedback for your next projects, which I think is really fun. You know, kids are such an extreme population. And then again, how I mentioned before, they're so unpredictable. But in my engineering program, I kind of specialize in human factors. So again, like I said, kids are such an extreme population where, you know, okay, you have to be thinking about their motor skills, their anthropometrics, how big is their hand? Are they even going to be able to hold this? Is this going to be too much for them to think about? Are they going to have the dexterity to put these pieces together? Or I think being at the STEAM project, this was one of the first times where I actually thought about how is this project going to be assembled rather than just what is the final product going to look like. And so again, I really appreciate being or coming from a developing human factors background, we'll say. Yeah, I really appreciate how I'm able to work with such a unique population and really see how they interact with my products firsthand.
Thank you, Kira.
Of course.
Spencer, do you want to try it? Yeah, before we go? We have
Yeah.
one more after this, but I'm going to try and squeeze in a couple here real quick.
Yeah, I can say something. I agree with pretty much everything Kira said there too. One of the things that really sticks out to me, which I'm pretty proud of, and something that I hope that the staff specifically notice, is that I really view our team as it really is one big family, one big community, and it's kind of going off of what Kira had said previously too. It's that supervisors and people don't just kind of disappear for the rest of the day. It's kind of we run hands-on programs, and I like to think of it as that even at our level we're very hands-on in terms of putting together what we're offering our families and our campers that come through. So everybody works very closely together. We're a fairly small team in our year-round operation, and we grow to be 150, 160 people in the summertime. And it's even at that point, everybody is still very involved in the planning process and the setup and facilitation process. So it's something that I really think is really valuable from the staff level. And I've heard feedback from the past as well from parents, specifically with like how hands-on the staff are and how welcoming everybody is, because we really do want to treat this as a positive experience for everyone, the campers, the parents, the staff that are with us, other people that might be in the buildings of some of the rentals that we have. Like we always want to kind of put out that image too, and I hope that carries. But definitely, like, everybody is very hands-on, and I think that really is something that stands out about us as a company and as an organization, when kind of outwardly facing the public, when we're putting on our camps and our programs.
Thank you, Spencer. Sam?
Yeah, I think Spencer said exactly what I was going to say. So I'll echo his point. I think that something that makes us special is that you can definitely tell that everyone genuinely cares about being here and cares about what we're doing. So it really comes through, whether it be in our programs, whether it be even in our hiring process when it comes to Spencer meeting our candidates. He really comes and he makes them feel welcome when they come. And when it comes to Kira and our programming team, it's really that we never just tie the bow and say the program is finished. We're always coming back and thinking about how can we improve this experience for the kids for the next class that we're doing, or how can we make this a better learning experience where we can either help other learners or involve kids who are at different levels, whether it be in the pace of our courses or in the ways that we are teaching things. So we'll come back and we might say, wow, we might actually need a demonstration for this, because when we were talking about this concept, the kids didn't understand what is friction and how does it work? But coming back and say, we're going to make this car go down the ramp with different textures and those kind of things. So really coming back to, we really care about the programs that we're developing. We care about our relationships with the families and the kids who are coming, and really working on that. And always iterating, whether it comes from our programming standpoint, from all of the kind of facets of our company.
Wow, amazing. Oh my goodness. We are wrapping up with Youth Connections Cafe, and I wondered if you could provide final words of wisdom from each of you for our youth, just moving forward. If there's anything you could suggest to them. Megan, if you have a question or two, would this be a good time? Or
I don't have a question. I just wanted to say that you guys did amazing with everything.
thank you. Thank you for sharing that, Megan. We really appreciate that. I know they do as well. Thank you, Megan. Much appreciated. Final words of wisdom. We'll start with Kira.
Yeah. That's a good question. I think that my biggest point, this is gonna be super cliche to say, but really just as we've been saying through this interview, don't be afraid to try new things. It's not gonna be perfect the first time. It's not supposed to be perfect the first time, because really, if it was, that means that your goal wasn't ambitious enough, I suppose. But just don't be afraid to try new things, even if you're not sure if you're gonna like it. You might not be able to find out if you don't at least give it a shot. So, go outside your comfort zone. It's always fun to try new things, and even if it's scary, the consequences of it not working out are probably not as high as you think. So just try it out.
Thank you, Kira. And who would like to go next?
I can go. Kira kind of said along the lines of what I was going to say, which seems to be the trend today. We're all saying exactly what each other wanted to say. But kind of piggybacking off of what Kira said there, kind of the extension for me would be really to just promote the idea of a growth mindset across the board, and more so than just like not being afraid to kind of take that new experience. Maybe there is something that you're comfortable in and you enjoy doing too. But I would really promote the idea of like pushing your comfort level a little bit and kind of challenging what you already know how to do, for whether it's new ways to improve, or maybe it's additions on what you can already do with something that you know you love. So I just think like looking for new opportunities to even further grow and further refine a skill, or even develop a new interest kind of based off of something you already are in for it. So just always never say no to an opportunity, and just kind of be open to anything that comes your way, because you never know what you're going to get out of it at the end of the day.
Thank you. Thank you. And Sam.
Yeah, I think I'm going to echo exactly too what Kira and Spencer are saying, to try new things. And then to wrap it up too, about our topic today about thriving in a world of technology, really also just trying different technologies and learning about them and involving them, whether that be in your program or in your life as well. There's always opportunities to learn. I think that all of us really tried to have a growth mindset when we're coming to work here. So to continue to learn and to continue to take opportunities with developing technologies, to learn about them and see if you can implement them in your daily life or in school or in your programming, if you're doing that.
Thunderous round of applause to Kira, Spencer, and Sam representing the STEAM project. And we do encourage you to reach out to the STEAM project. Please do follow them on social media as well. Check out their website. I'm sure you will find that easily, but if someone wanted to highlight it, it's the STEAM project.ca.
Yep, the steamproject.ca. That's
Yeah.
exactly it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And doing amazing work. So we thank you so very much from Youth Connections Cafe, but also for Youth for Change, for allowing us to be on this platform to open up a discussion and learn and grow from Kira, Spencer, and Sam representing the STEAM Project. We have learned so much today. Please do reach out to the STEAM Project and our colleagues here that you have had a chance to listen and tune into today. Thank you so much. My name is Lynne McIntee. I've been your humble host, and thank you to our friends at the STEAM Project. Bye, everyone.